I did go back and watch those performances, just kind of see, live performance on national television. And from what I've seen, you guys killed it. You guys did really well.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I mean, I think it's muscle memory.
Yeah. Once you get going, kind of like get into it.
Yeah, I mean, it's also like the danger of being a musician because like my girlfriend's a comedian, and so she goes up and like just has to talk to people.
Yeah.
But she's also kind of like having to think on the fly and figure out what people are, and like I just go up and play a thing I've played a million times. Sometimes I think about what I'm going to cook for dinner while I'm doing it. I don't have to think about it. It's a totally different thing.
It's just getting past that kind of that initial kind of nerves and getting into it. It's kind of like in sports, you go into a big game, like a little nervous. Once you get that first action, it's like, okay, I know what I'm doing now,
Yeah, I mean, it's also, it's such a vain thing. Like, like, I don't know, did you guys hear Kanye talking about how, like, he was on medicine and the medicine made him fat and that's why he doesn't want to take it?
Yeah.
So, like, I can kind of relate to that because, like, I'm just going off of an anxiety medicine that, like, the reason I'm, like, I gained, like, 10 pounds because I just can't get rid of it, But at the same time, I think that it's irresponsible and selfish to not, like, figure out how to deal with yourself, like to let it go for a vain reason and then like hurt people or like impact other people's lives negatively seems really selfish to me, and that's like part of the entertainment industry that you can't see until you've been in it for a little bit and you're like a little bit older and wiser.
Yeah, it's Kanye's it's a unique it's hard to like even really talk about him because at the same time, like Greg said, like he has all these well-known issues, but then it like also like reoccurring things that just keep happening over and over and over. It's like a reoccurring cycle. And at one point, you feel like sympathetic towards that, like him dealing with those issues. And at the same time, it's like how he also has like extreme vain issues himself that like he refuses to even kind of acknowledge. So it's like, how do you really kind of approach that issue with him sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, he, like, I heard from an acquaintance that was at some kind of dinner or something with him that, like, she actually thought that he was, like, he hears voices.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And, like, that's, like, that's, like, psychological. Like, he's so fucking talented, but, like, just, it's like scary, you gotta
yeah. It's very terrifying watching him now. Like whenever he opens his mouth, it's like, oh man, I don't know what's gonna happen right now. Like
it's scary for sure. You don't know because what he says just happens to affect everybody's day. Like no matter what.
And he's so big, like just as a star that it's global. Like everything he says is basically global. It just reaches around the world, and it's like it'd be terrifying to even imagine being like associated with him closely and like, man, I don't know what's gonna happen right now when he's not here about to do this. Like, yeah,
because people like interview you. Like if you were close friends with him and we knew that, like we'd be like, so, are you gonna go to Wyoming? Have you talked to him? Like. You've been doing to like help him? Do you think he's all right? Like what like everybody gets put on the spot for it now that's like associated,
and no one's qualified to talk about it.
Oh,
right, yeah.
like I didn't even talk about it. It's like I don't know, man. Like I just like wish him the best, but I don't know.
I mean, he's so talented creatively. I mean, even like fashion, like his stuff's cool. He's just like, I don't know. I think hopefully, you don't have to be that tortured to be a good artist.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's like some sort of midpoint. Because it'd be scary if like everyone who's creative gets the leeway to like do what he does. Like imagine if everyone famous was just out there being a fucking monster.
Oh man.
Yeah. No, thank you.
I mean, I think there's definitely something to say about having that kind of torture darkness like within an artist that kind of helps certain artists in their music, but also there's a lot of artists that are extremely talented that don't have that aspect to them. So it's like I think the tortured artist is a bit overblown because there's a ton of genius level artists out here that you don't see going on presidential rallies saying like Harriet Tubman didn't free slaves and stuff like that, you know. So
the political stuff is the weirdest. I mean, it's just weird.
It's very weird these days. Like everything's political now. Like music, everything is just like, you know, you don't like Kanye. You're a great artist. Like you're a great, you know, creative, but you don't need to be involved in everything. Like, you know.
I mean, I think that like we are in a weird place socially where like it's almost like, you know, I think everyone constantly thinks, you know, like this can't happen here. This is America. It's still gonna always be a democracy and be free. And I think that like that kind of lulls people into a state of complacency and you know, I think we're kind of at a point where you have to be engaged at least.
You have to now, yeah, because it's so crazy.
But you know, that's why I think that like the NBA is the coolest. It's so cool because they're using the platform. Like I was watching the other day and thinking like, imagine being like a kid whose dad is the Trump supporter and being a huge LeBron fan and being like, Dad, what? LeBron's like said that like Black Lives Matter, you know?
Yeah.
Like, why do you not think that? Like, I think that's a powerful cultural thing, you know? It's
Very
like,
powerful. Yeah.
So I don't know. I can see it impacting everything so positively.
Yeah, definitely.